Welcome. I kinda just wanted to lay out some recurring thoughts that have been clouding my mind daily, such as this title. As a result of quarantine, I've had a lot of time to myself to think and recall my past. I frequently thought about the idea of wanting to enter a relationship. However, these types of thoughts and ideas are always colluded and patronized by my own sense of self-worth and the constant door knocking of my past, both the mistakes made and the lessons learned. So yeah, let's go on a bit of a deep dive into my past friendships and relationships. I won't disclose much information about who they are. Instead, I will intend to focus more on things that I have done or said regarding them. To this day, I've been in a total of 2 relationships and can confidently say I've liked 5 people at different points in my life. Let's begin with the first relationship. I met her when I was in year 8. Apparently, the girl who I had befriended for a whole year had a crush on me during that time. I was quite dense back then and really didn't think too much of our interactions other than this person enjoys talking with me. We gradually got closer and started to date by the end of year 9. We didn't fight at all, but I did always want her to prioritize me over others, sometimes asking her to call and talk with me instead of playing with her or our friends. But things out of the blue started to shift when she met new people. I always trusted her, allowing her to do whatever she wanted for the most part. Unless I wanted attention. However, foreshadowing the final weeks of the relationship, she gradually stopped talking and interacting with me. It ended with her telling me she was not suited to being in a relationship. I complained so much to everyone, complaining about a whole bunch of assumptions that I had drawn, saying that she broke up with me because she was interested in this other guy, which I later learned that they did date a couple months after we broke up, but the past is the past. The way I acted after breaking up was one of the longest and hardest truths that I had to learn from. Complaining and forcing your problems onto others that you think you're close with is something that I've learned just to not do. Instead, I just keep to myself or tell a select few people. In retrospect, I'd say the first heartbreak was the biggest turning point in my life. It shattered a lot of my viewpoints on both relationships and friendship. The next incident is based on a person that I liked but did not end up with. The main issue with this relationship is that I expected a relationship from all the time we spent. Initially, I enjoyed talking to her during school and teasing her whenever. I did not really think much of my feelings back then. It was only after we got closer and gradually spent more time with each other that I found out that I liked her. I asked her to be my girlfriend twice. First time led to give it some time, and the other time led to her telling me why she didn't like me. We decided to just be best friends instead, but it didn't last long. As I continued to introduce her to more of my other friends, she eventually told me that she liked one of them. I kind of died on the inside and said that I would still be her close friend. However, I gradually moved apart and pushed her away because I thought it would be better. The interactions we had always hurt me as I acted as the middleman between them, and I kind of started to say hurtful things. All my thoughts were kind of pessimistic and the way we talked to each other had changed. Unlike the first relationship, I only told 5 people about this problem. I beat myself up for it a lot, saying that it didn't work out because of my mentality, that I'm not as fun to hang out with, that I act like a robot, that I want different things, etc. I did get over it after 3 months, and the one positive I did get from this was a push to improve myself, meet new people, and to not expect a relationship from anyone, especially if you think you've spent a lot of time with them. Next was a crush on this girl who treats me like a younger brother. I'm still quite close with this girl even till today, but I don't think she knows that I liked her at some point. I'm 100% sure she doesn't watch my YouTube videos, so I'm all good. I liked this girl who was a year level above me, but we were the same age. She was just a couple months older. I liked her for a lot of reasons, however, I never told her how I felt. Why, you might ask? Well, it's because whenever we called, we'd both talk about our problems as well as learn more about each other, but she told me about how she isn't that confident with one-on-one calls or meetups. And she kinda alluded to how she would reject a lot of people's offers to hang out one-on-one. Personally, I also did not think a relationship between us would work out. We've had quite a lot of instances where we would talk a lot, then not talk at all. When we did call, we'd call on either Friday or Saturday nights till late. These moments were the peaks of our friendship. I'd say it was also around this time when I started to catch feelings for her. I even asked her to go to formal with me, in which she said yes, but it slowly turned into a no. She had also told me that we weren't that close back then. I think her rejection to my formal invitation, saying that we weren't as close, killed off a lot of my feelings as well as interest in her. I kinda didn't talk to her for a couple months because of this. I thought that, right, she already has close friends and clearly wasn't interested in us getting closer despite our interactions. I only attempted to rekindle our friendship and started to talk to her again when my second relationship started to die. As of now, my feelings have faded and I'm glad that I started communicating with her again. I don't regret not telling her that I liked her, but as a result from this interaction, I learned that sometimes boundaries will be set up and I need to acknowledge and respect them. Not all relationships will work out and that's completely fine. You'll move on and find others you resonate with. My second relationship was the one which ruined a perfectly healthy friendship. I'll lay down the premise. Basically, since it was a long distance one, we decided that we'd date and see how it would go for 3 months. However, 2 weeks into it, I started to doubt the whole trial thing, and in the end, this relationship trial thing created a relationship dynamic that felt like a forced obligation for me. I didn't grow the relationship, rather I kept doing the same things we'd done, even as friends. Compared to my first relationship, we just continued to call, talk, and play games. We didn't try to watch things together, we didn't try to video call, we just didn't do a lot of things that showed growth in a relationship. My other friends told me that they viewed us as friends with a label. Thinking back, they were right. During the relationship, the only rules we set for ourselves was that I could not hang out or play with other girls one-on-one. But this condition was hard for me considering I find myself having more girlfriends over guys. During the 4th week till the 7th week, I broke that rule, choosing to play games with one of my other friends and meeting up with one at the library. Though I did not like the girls I met up or played with romantically, it is completely my fault for breaking the rules. My friend said dick move man in the comments. Gradually we grew apart and I started to tell my other friends the problems I felt about the relationship, rather than talking it out and fixing it with her. At that point I kind of realized that things were not going to work out and thus we both mutually decided to end it during the 8th week. We only lasted 2 months. The key thing I learned from this experience is that some close friends are better off as staying close friends. If you're going to half-ass a relationship, I'd recommend ending it early, otherwise you'll lose a very valuable friend. Or even better, don't enter the relationship at all. The most recent instance where I realized I had gained feelings for a close friend of mine. I told her I had gained feelings but immediately said it would be better to stay as close friends instead of pursuing something that might not work out. I didn't find out her answer till a couple days later, which confirmed that she did not have feelings for me. In lieu to my second relationship, knowing that I don't follow through all my claims, in addition to the fear of losing another connection, I managed to resolve my situation with the best possible result, choosing to be good friends to this day. I say that the reason I mentioned this one is to show growth in dealing with these situations. I also want to highlight a whole bunch of other general flaws and mistakes I have made that have happened in my interactions with others. The flaws included being highly emotional then lashing out at others. This is the worst thing you can do, and I have hurt a few people by doing this. I've also lied to others. Now I'm trying to improve myself, and if I don't think I can keep the promise, then I won't make it. Doing this will make you feel more trustworthy and more confident, but I still struggle with this till today, mainly with promises to myself. Don't dog others, choose to not sell things to a friend last minute, or wake up a whole hour late to a meetup, or even sleeping in and not meeting up at all. So yeah, key takeaways from this video is the number 1, don't complain about your friendships or relationships to people who you are not that close with or who can't keep a secret. Number 2, don't expect a relationship from someone you've spent a lot of time with, it will only hurt you in the long run. Number 3, acknowledge that not everyone will vibe with you and respect boundaries. Number 4, if you're thinking of entering a trial relationship or having doubts about one working, think about the consequences before you lose something that shouldn't have been lost in the first place. Number 5, confront and accept whatever reality comes about. Don't second guess or assume. In conclusion, I do feel as though after all these experiences, it has become a lot more harder for me to like another person, move on a lot faster now, but I just think that I'm not ready to enter anything right now. I no longer think about what ifs with a person, but rather, does this person also show a mutual interest in me, or am I the one always actively engaging? I also try to see if I can picture myself with them for the rest of my life. If not, then I won't bother trying. Make sure to answer these 2 questions if you're looking to enter a serious relationship. Yup, this concludes it. I hope you learned some valuable lessons from me and able to apply them to your own lives. Thanks for watching and listening. Please don't ask me about details about who they are, or try not to second guess in the comments, because I probably won't answer you, so yeah, just wanted to say that. And last thing, shout out to I for actually editing and revising the script. Apologies again for not even like touching this till like a whole month later. Yup. Thanks guys, and bye. Yup.